Next up, we have the Moonlight Library team here, ready to chat and tell us more about the project. It's being brought by the collective called the Moonlight Collective, appropriately, who is a cross-disciplinary team of artists, engineers, and makers that work at the intersection of art and technology. They create transformative, immersive experiences that leverage the magic of light, sound, and storytelling. Their founding members share more than 70 years of collective experience creating interactive experiences across disciplines including lighting design, music composition, video game design, software engineering, and creative direction. So today I'm excited that we have with us James Gwertzman, who is the co-founder of the Moonlight Collective and the lead artist, and Casey Marvin, who is the other co-founder and the creative director of the Moonlight Collective. So welcome, James and Casey. Really glad you guys are
Thank
here.
you. We're so excited to be here.
Well, let's take a look at the video you guys made, and then we can chat a little bit more after that. Sure. Great.
Hello, I'm James Gwertzman, lead artist for the Moonlight Collective, and I'm really excited to introduce you today to our new piece for Burning Man this year, the Moonlight Library. The idea for the library was conceived, as all great ideas are, on a napkin over drinks one night with co-founder and creative director Casey Marvin. Our first big work, The Prairie of Possibilities, debuted at Burning Man 2022 and explored the transformational power of storytelling to generate empathy, inspire connection, and bridge divides. In that piece, participants had a chance to have a conversation with the entity who inhabits a field of glowing prairie grass and to record deeply personal stories connected to core emotions. We've collected nearly 2,000 of those stories, and now with this new piece, we're expanding on the same fictional universe as the prairie, building the library where the entity stores those stories.
The Moonlight Library, visible to the human eye as a desolate ruin suspended between realms, serves as a liminal archive of collective memory. And in this moonlit moment, participants have the unique opportunity to look at their own story from the viewpoint of their last chapter and author their own changes to this narrative. Our work explores the fundamental question of what it means to be human. In this exhibit, we explore that question through an immersive, interactive experience that centers around our ability to author our own stories. To be human is to engage in the grand experiment of life. Trial and error, growth and regret, joy and sacrifice. It's the process of becoming and the fragments of self that we leave behind as we change.
Besides exploring the library itself, we're going to have different levels of immersiveness. Guests can notice that certain books in the shelves are glowing, and if you stroke those books, you'll be rewarded by hearing the story that book contains, one of the stories we recorded earlier. And if you're able to find the hidden entrance to a tunnel inside the walls of the library, you can follow that through to a hidden space where you'll have a dialogue with the entity who will challenge you to consider your own story and ask, from the perspective of your final chapter, if you could rewrite one part of your story, what would it be? We're building the library at the Loom in Oakland, California. It's a huge build, and we're going to be there building pretty much every day of the week between now and Burning Man. We have a big team of volunteers, but can always use more help. So please consider signing up to help. We need carpenters, painters, electrical engineers, lighting and audio specialists, and many more. Thank you so much for joining us for this preview today. We can't wait to welcome you at our library on the playa at Burning Man later this year. Until then.
In lumine lunari es renescentis. In moonlight, you are reborn.
Oh, well, that was so fun to see. I liked the kind of combination of like the practical and logistical, and then the kind of dramatic
Vision, yeah.
I'm curious where the power of Moonlight came to, like why is that such a meaningful thing for you?
I think it originally came about because we knew we wanted to do light art, and light art obviously thrives nocturnally. And then as it evolved, a lot of the poetic elements that we weaved into the pieces really worked beautifully with metaphors around the moon and the stars and the night sky. So
one of the design elements of the library that I'm most excited for and hoping we can pull off is this giant moon window we have. I don't know if you saw it in the video, but it's this beautiful moon. And our stretch goal is to have it actually slowly change phase over the course of the 3 nights.
It's like, have you tracked yet this year?
Like we know the phase of the moon, we know angle in the sky, where it's coming from. One of the things it's going to be a new moon, a pretty new moon, a sliver.
Another thread that I'm hearing a lot here is storytelling. Like, I love how you started with the Prairie Possibilities for several years, and like that was so much about storytelling. Like in your video, you had 2,000 stories from that. Like, it's cool to see the evolution of that into now a library. Like, it makes a lot of sense.
Same fictional universe. A part of the conceit here is that this entity that inhabited the prairie, this is her library. This is where she keeps the stories. You had this brilliant idea for this kind of, climactic experience that is sort of buried deep within this piece, where you can really start to explore this notion of not just sharing a story, but really starting to edit your story.
Going forward into the library, I think we're leaning a little bit more into the active, right? That the art of that sharing and the role that you play in authoring that story. And so I think it'll be an interesting shift. I don't want to, no spoilers. But I think there will be an experience with the entity if you can find her. And it'll be an interesting shift and a more active involvement in your own story.
Well, we had this original idea, like every book would have like a little RFID chip in it, and you would take it off the shelf and put it on a reader and hear the story. You can take it and put it back on the shelf. So when you're hearing a story, the person standing over there is not hearing the same story.
Right.
Playing with directional audio, and this is part of the fun is I love creating magic. And
have you created your own kind of Moonlight Dewey Decimal system? How do you organize all the stories? Are you like adventures and I don't know, mystery and like so that's
that's an excellent question. I'm very pleased you asked that. So we did a lot of psychology research prior to the earlier piece. One of the things, there's a couple schools of thought, but I'll keep it simple. There's essentially 4 different basic human emotions. The sentiment analysis would divide things out based on whether it represented happy, sad, fearful, or anger. And that is, again, no spoiler alerts, but in the upcoming exhibit, you'll probably see some of those themes continue to emerge as they reflect our take on the human condition.
There's a big jump from the kind of installation you've had prior to this one. Like, that was a field of
grass, mostly.
Now you're building like a full-on architectural structure. Like, tell me more about the challenges and the learnings that you have and going from that.
Selfishly, I really wanted to be a Disney Imagineer when I was a kid. Like, that was always my dream to build theme park attractions. And so I think there is an element here of actually building something that you could explore and climb on and really engage with physically. It is a huge challenge. I mean, it's a whole new level of complexity in terms of carpenters and wood and materials and build space. And we're learning all about like uploads and downloads and structural engineering and we all things we never had to deal with in the previous projects. Yeah.
Right. Do you already have thoughts about what might evolve after the library?
We've got some pretty big, ambitious ideas for the future, but I think right now we're in execution mode. We're under the gun to bring you guys some magic for Burning Man, and we're going to deliver.
Well, we're really excited for this project this year. Thank you guys so much for all you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to have you. Thanks. Bye-bye.